you've all received copies of the previous minutes. I'll entertain a motion.
So moved to accept minutes?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion made by Commissioner Davis, seconded by Commissioner Mello, passes unanimously. The meeting minutes of June 25th are accepted as distributed. Moving on to out-of-state schools.
Can I back up for a second?
Sure.
I wasn't here then, so I don't know if I can technically, I didn't vote, but if I can technically make a motion to accept the minutes.
Okay, and I think the fact that
I
we
did
had,
read them, I mean, but, yeah.
yeah, the fact that we had two commissioners here, the two. Okay.
Yeah, just technically. it's
All in
okay.
favor of Mr. Davis's, Commissioner Davis's motion to accept the minutes as distributed? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, passes unanimously. Moving on to out-of-state schools.
I do have two out-of-state schools. One is the APCO Atlantic Chapter Conference for Dispatcher Amanda Mountford. This is in Mystic, Connecticut. She will be doing a presentation at this conference as well. The total cost for that is $749, including tuition. That is November 16th to the 19th. She'll be teaching a dispatcher's guide to hot calls, is what she'll be teaching at the conference. And then I have a second request that I just passed to Commissioner Mello for me to attend the IACP conference in Denver, Colorado in October. I typically attend this conference. It's a leadership, many different leadership tracks, as well as the mandatory meeting for the IACP Terrorism Committee that I sit on as well.
Okay, discussion, questions?
Make a motion, we approve the two out-of-state.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion made by Commissioner Davis, seconded by Commissioner Mello. Passes unanimously. The out-of-state conferences are approved as submitted. Review of monthly activity reports, department monthly highlights, Chief Canfield.
So for the month of June, we responded a total of 2,683 calls for service. This was up just over 9%. We conducted a total of 232 park walk and talks, 351 extra patrols, which was up drastically, 154%. Conducted 11 community policing events, investigated 415 criminal offenses, clearing a total of 278 of those by arrest, making a total of 153 physical custody arrests. We took 38 people into custody for intoxication. Responded to a total of 28 domestic disturbance calls, 100 other disturbances, 9 suicidal subjects, and investigated 9 violation restraining orders. And our victim services unit volunteers volunteered 8 hours of their time during the month of June.
Any questions? Moving on to criminal investigative unit statistics, Chief Canfield.
So for the month of June, they were assigned a total of 38 initial cases, conducted 9 follow-ups on other cases, made 1 felony arrest, initiated 2 felony charges, 1 misdemeanor arrest, 6 search warrants, clearing 2 cases exceptionally, conducted 18 sex offender registrations, investigated 1 computer cyber-related tip, conducted 5 cell phone extractions, 5 background investigations, 5 drug intel sheets. They assisted with covering 24 hours of patrol shifts. That's it for BCI.
Questions, comments? Moving on to budget printouts, Chief Canfield.
Our budget looks good for the year. Of course, we just started at July 1st. We're 96.15% of the way through the year, but it is on track. Our budget ended last year well under budget.
Comments, questions? Moving on to monthly traffic statistics, Chief Canfield.
For the month of June, we issued a total of 243 parking tickets. Responded to a total of 64 motor vehicle accidents, 22 of which were with injury, and 2 fatal motor vehicle accidents. Those were both involving motorcycles that occurred during Motorcycle Week. We made a total of 687 motor vehicle stops, issued a total of 120 motor vehicle summonses, and 533 written warnings.
Questions, comments? Moving on to monthly fleet report, Chief Canfield.
I have nothing on the fleet unless there are specific questions.
Questions? Moving on to correspondence to and from the department, Chief Canfield.
So we had a few thank you letters. One was regarding traffic noise. Another one was for attending the Camp Fatima Special Needs Week. This is always a nice event to attend. We go down there and the camp is focused entirely on children with, or people with special needs, and they do a law enforcement day, so we bring some equipment down there and get to interact with them. And then there was a thank you letter from a resident who lives up on Morrill Street regarding an ongoing issue with some squatters that were living in a house. It was a fairly lengthy process to get them out of there, but they appreciated all of our help in cleaning up that neighborhood. So it was nice to work with someone in our community to make a quality of life improvement in their neighborhood.
It's always nice to receive letters like this,
Yes, for sure.
really, really nice. Moving forward to Chief's report, Chief Canfield.
So we're in the process of researching and beginning construction for renovation of the Real-Time Crime Center. This would be to modify the upstairs conference room in the police department to make that room a little bit larger to accommodate the Real-Time Crime Center when that does happen. We're also working on a replacement. Unfortunately, I just received news very recently that our canine is nearing the end of his working life. So he's got what appears to be hip dysplasia in his hips, so his days are numbered as far as working as a patrol dog. We had plans to replace him with a different type of canine. It would be a black Labrador Retriever, trained in explosives detection as well as firearms and tracking. Canine use has changed a bit, and we haven't been using our current canine for drug searches for a while because most of what we're seeing is heroin and fentanyl. And of course, if the dog alerts to that and inhales it, it's deadly to the dog, so we haven't been using them for that. However, with this new type of canine, it will enhance our ability to do tracking, but also as a Labrador Retriever. It's a much friendlier dog that we can use for community presentations and community events, so I think that's a win-win. So we had that program started before we got the news on the current canine. So our plan is to do 2 canines of the same, send them to training at the same time. So we'll have 2 of the same exact dogs, which will give us more availability for tracking and avoid some of the call-outs for people off duty as well. The cost of this, well, this is a program out of South Carolina. It's a 5-week program, which is much more affordable schedule-wise. Our current canine program was, I believe, the initial was like 4 months, and then for the patrol and tracking, and then the additional drug part was 3 months down in Boston. This is a much shorter program. It's 5 weeks in length, and that includes all of those specialties. Part of that is because the dogs are already trained, and they just basically marry them up to the handler, and they get used to working together. So we're looking to partner with them, and it's a shorter training program. I think we'll get more bang for our buck as far as service delivery here. Funding for funding costs is $25,000 per dog the first dog was funded through last year's budget. The additional one to replace our current canine, we're looking to fund that through use of $10,000 from our drug forfeiture fund, and then the other $15,000 to absorb that from our current budget.
So you're shying away from German Shepherds? I mean,
Yes, these are both Labrador Retrievers. Yep.
Do you have somebody committed to keep them? I mean, one of the officers, or how does that?
We did do a testing process. We had quite a bit of interest. We've selected one of the handlers. We selected a second handler, and just waiting for confirmation that it'll work for the officer's home life as far as living with the dog and that kind of stuff, because it is a 24-hour
commitment.
responsibility and commitment. So, National Night Out will be held at Peachy Park this year from 4 to 7 p.m. We'll be bringing the National Guard Black Hawk helicopter in again, and Eric Adams has been working really hard on this with Steve Orton to do some additional events, so that should be a good time.
And the date of that is
August 14th
14.
from 4 to 7 p.m.
August. Well, Peachy, you said, again?
Yes.
So Peachy, yeah.
We went with that. We had contemplated Elm Street, but they had some scheduling conflicts with soccer, and Peachy works out well because the event's grown so big that there's enough area for it.
And what time was that?
4 to 7 p.m. If you may have noticed, we've done a lot of work in the downtown area. We have an officer working downtown on a regular walk-in beat during the day and evening hours. It's on a rotational position, so officers will leave their sector, they'll come down and walk for an hour, and then they just kind of rotate out. I think it's made a big impact in the downtown area, and I've heard a lot of feedback from the businesses and other people that they really appreciate that. ACO position, we did interview process for a new animal control officer. Unfortunately, the top candidate didn't work out once we started doing the background investigation, so we are looking to reinitiate that process and conduct more interviews to fill that. August 21st, we'll be doing the city employee appreciation barbecue, which I believe will be held at O-Pee-Chee Park again over by Buzzeo Street. But that's the one that the city puts on at noontime for lunch for all city employees.
When is that again?
August 21st at noon.
Did you say it was Peachy again?
Yeah, it's the part of the park that is more towards the Buzzeo Street side.
Yep.
Yes. So August 21st at noon. And that is all I have.
That's it. Moving on to old business, chief.
Nothing?
New business, chief.
Nothing?
Other business, chief.
Nothing?
Citizen comments.
I'm Diane Lockwood, and I live at 22 Strafford Street in the most beautiful apartment in this town, this city. And so I just wanted to come and see what went on. It's just so interesting. I find out so much. I mean, I read the paper, but this stuff doesn't all make the paper, like about the dog and stuff like that. It's really good. And I guess if I have a complaint about the poppy cars, do I go to y'all or do I go to my city councilor?
Complain about.
Those poppy cars that sound like machine guns?
Oh,
Yes. You know, and it's funny because about a month ago in city council meeting, this gentleman spoke about something else first off, and then they asked him if he had any other additional comments or questions. And he said, yeah, those cars, the motorcycles are bad, but those machine gun cars are terrible. And I like the city noises because I live up there on the 4th floor at Busy Corner, and it's a canyon. It's a sound canyon. And I can kind of, I'm okay with the motorcycles. But those poppy cars really get under me, and I can be in other parts of the city. So, and I know, hearing what y'all put up with and your job that you have to do, this is small potatoes compared to what y'all do, the officers. And come into this meeting really makes that plain. But anyway, just anything we could do, and I know noise ordinances are hard, you know. Who wants, yeah, anyway, that's all I want to say.
I would be happy to have a discussion with you afterwards.
Okay, I'll
Yeah,
do that, yeah.
absolutely.
Thank you.
Confirmation of the next meeting date.
Third Wednesday, about, so it'd be the 20th is right now what's on the schedule for.
It's scheduled for the 12th.
That's Youth Day. That's just
Okay.
marking a specific
Okay.
days or whatever.
All right.
But right now, we're usually the third Wednesday, but
Yep.
that's what it's on the calendar for, but we can.
Be the 20th, right?
Mhm.
I'll leave that decision to the chief. Chief, you have a preference as to
Nope, that works for me.
20th?
1 PM?
Can we do it
Hmm?
later rather than earlier?
Later?
Well, we were at 2, we were at 3, then it's 2,
Yeah.
and then so can we move it back to at least 2?
2 o'clock?
Sure.
Okay, 2 o'clock on the 20th. Chief, you put a copy of a memorandum in here that came from Robin Moyer
That was,
regarding, I think, a couple of ladies that expressed their displeasure with the police department.
yeah, that was a survey that's accessible on our website. That was submitted through our website. It was, sounds like it stemmed from an incident during Motorcycle Week where they may have been on the side of the road encouraging motorcycles to do burnouts or whatnot. Obviously, she disagrees that that was their intention. There was no contact information or anything else provided, so typically I would reach out and call her and have a discussion to find out more, but she left no information to do that, so,
This was a stupid complaint. I mean,
yeah.
it made no sense.
I would have been happy to reach out to her and discuss it, but she did it anonymously, so I had no way to follow up with her.
Okay, so the next meeting is scheduled, motion to adjourn.
Make motion to adjourn?
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion made by Commissioner Davis, seconded by Commissioner Mello, passes unanimously. The meeting adjourns at 1:26.